It's late at night. You think you're safe. You turn the lights out, and then you hear a scream and shout. No one's home. You're alone. Lay back down, pull up your sheets. Your knees start to feel weak. You can feel your heartbeat. Is your door closed? You feel your feet exposed. Now you're in a state. It's much, much too late. You can't escape this deadly fate. Warning, the following podcast contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this podcast is intended for mature audiences only. Welcome back to Sinister Ghouls, Twisted Sisters, your paranormal, true crime, and everything creepy podcast. I am your host, Ghoulie Gonzo, and I'm not here with JoJo again today. She's still recovering. I am here with
Take a guess, bitches.
Gabagoo. Gabby's back. She's back for another episode. So, as I get moving while I'm eating this. Oh. I sound like the cat. Okay. It sounds, yeah. So, this Saturday, myself and Tina Ghoul and JoJo Ghoul and Poopy Ghoul are going to be doing a bonus sister sleepover episode. And Joe, I'm joking. So we're gonna do a sister sleepover. We're gonna do a sister sleepover, and it's gonna be fun. I'm not sure what we're gonna be doing, but I have an idea. And because I'm going to JoJo's house instead of doing it from my house, Papa Ghoul and Mama Gigi Ghoul might even do a what is it? A swing by.
A swing.
And then we're gonna play Beat Saber. Why did I say labor?
I don't even know what either are.
The labia. Don't get scared, young men.
They don't know
Warning,
where
warning.
it is.
Labias. Today, I'm enjoying a gin and juice. Gabagoo is enjoying some orange juice.
I'm enjoying
and
a
she
juice.
Also has a yummy drink that Marigold got her, but not me. It's my favorite from Starbucks. It's more than a venti. What is it?
A Trenta.
I don't know the lingo.
Oh, the whole thing?
It's a Trenta dragon fruit cream something.
A Trenta dragon drink with extra dragon fruit inclusions and extra vanilla sweet cream cold foam.
Okay.
Bam.
Yum. Yum per month. So, I'm not rolling down the street sipping on gin and juice. I'm sitting at my desk recording a podcast, sipping on gin and juice, laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. So, I'm looking at a painting that Gabagoo painted for me to go in my G-spot. Let me explain. It's just a gangster spot. It's just like a cool spot where we all hang out and look at the aurora borealis light on the ceiling with the music playing, and we are all in this room just drinking, and it's our
It
G
has
spot.
multiple meanings.
Yes,
It's
so
ghoulie.
Gangster.
And the G spot, because most of us that are gonna hang out on it are girls.
Yeah.
And we all have G spots, so
yeah.
And Ethan Ghoul has a G spot too. Because he's a little bitch.
Oh God, that is so funny. Ethan, you're not. We love you.
I think
but your best friend. You're our best friend, and you're a man. Yeah. So that tells all other men. We have a 6'3", tall, big, handsome, tough, and sweet, and can chill with the girls.
Redhead.
And is not gay.
Somehow.
Has strawberry blondish red hair, bright blue eyes, and he will fuck you up.
Bow, bow, bow.
He's burnt. But wait. So with those dirty mouths of yours messaging me about my Instagram and what you want to do with my pictures, he knows all about that. So you're not a bitch. You're our best bitch. Anyway, so It sounds so loud, but I'm gonna leave
I
it.
think so too. I feel like I'm never this loud. Maybe because this time I actually have a voice.
Oh my god.
I feel like the first episode was the last time that I actually had a voice on this thing. Every episode since, it's not.
I feel like that was the time that you said you said something and you were
I
so
do.
stuffed.
I remember.
But you had a voice like you were
I
because
know.
you had to get used to the fact that I have a cat and you just are allergic to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Yep.
when I said, I give the best blowjays ever from Superbad. That was that episode.
It was a good one.
So, anyways,
Bless
so I am snacking on peppermint patty chocolates with M&Ms, and I don't even like chocolate. So, what does that tell you? My menstrual cycle's on its way.
you. Woo!
Woo! I'm not pregnant.
Twins.
You said twins. I'm not pregnant because I'm not doing anything. Not pregnant unless I'm like the second Mary, or the second coming of the Lord, Christian instead of Christ.
Maybe.
That's blasphemous.
I don't
But
know.
that if I got pregnant, it'd be
It'd be a miracle.
it really would be. I'm magical. I don't need a man at all.
Period. I think you can make babies out of your bone marrow or something.
What the fuck are you? What
Yeah,
are you talking about? Scientists
yeah, like I've heard
grow a
it's a
baby with
new
your
thing.
blood. Woo!
I think I swear they said bone marrow, but I could be wrong.
Mm.
Do humans have bone
We
marrow?
are not doctors. We don't know for sure. Don't take our word for it. Just fucking listen. Today, you guys, we decided we were going to do a little bit on the Appalachian. Do you say chin or chian?
I say
The Appalachian Trail?
I say Appalachian.
Appalachian
I-
Trail. Appalachian? Yeah. Now I just read an Appalachian. Listen, every fucking way you could say the Appalachian Mountains or Trail,
Uh-huh.
I said it in every way you could.
Yes.
I'll never remember that. Appalachian. Where's JoJo's Appalachian? I got it right down. I'll never remember y'all. I had Gabagoo do some stuff. She's gonna be talking a little bit towards the end here. But you got some time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How long do you think it takes to how long do you think it takes to walk it?
A month. Also,
A month for the whole Appalachian Trail?
mm, maybe 2 or 3. I have for some reason something's telling me 3,
Okay.
but that sounds like a long time.
So I'm gonna tell you, it takes 5 to 7 months is what they say to walk.
The fuck?
I don't give a fuck.
What? Just to go up one way?
Do you know how? Okay, let me finish. So it's in the eastern U.S. It is 2,200, I believe, miles.
Who does that for
Okay.
fun?
I don't know.
That does
Almost.
not-
It's between Springer Mountain, Georgia, and Mountain Katahdin in Maine. So Georgia to Maine is as long as that trail. So if you're walking that, it's 5 to 7 months, not 3.
I would give up within 3 days.
Tell your mom.
Actually, I probably wouldn't
Mom,
even
will you
do
come
it.
get me? I quit.
Literally.
No, I can't. My lips hurt real bad. I need my chapstick.
But with the stories that I hear from there, I
Mhm.
couldn't make it one day.
It's pretty scary. So
Super scary.
let's go a little bit. So this passes through 14 states.
Holy shit.
The longest hiking only trail in the world. So like a trail that's hiking only. I
Take
know.
my car on that bitch.
It's hiking only.
What else would you do? Like,
I
could
don't
you
know.
I don't
Dance down it.
know. You have to walk the whole way?
So more than 3 million people hike segments of this trail each year. 3 fucking million. Sorry.
That's almost half of our population.
So, right. This trail was, let's see, made or whatever, posed in in 1921. It was completed in 1937. So 1921 to 1937.
Holy.
Yes. So I want to get into some of the murders that we're on the trail. And when I do this, Gabby's going to tell you some creepy things after. We'll probably take a break before any of that.
Wait, right now I'm telling?
No.
Oh, I was gonna
Mm-mm.
say, remember that Nicki Minaj song, guys?
What?
We'll play it. I don't remember the words. It was
Did you say
Chun
Lil
Li.
Kim? Because you're better. Wait. Oh, you said
Nicki
Nick.
Minaj.
You didn't say Lil Kim then? Okay, well, here's a fun fact for everybody. Fuck Nicki Minaj. I'm a Lil Kim fan. Tells you
I
right
don't know
there.
who that is.
Exactly, because you're a baby. Lil Kim is the hardest bitch. Nicki Minaj is the toe.
I like her old songs. I'd still know every word to Super Bass.
Of course you do. That's such a bad song.
Boom, trap, tap, down. Anyways.
Oh.
But yeah, Chun Li by Nicki Minaj. That's all I'm
Oh my
hearing in
god,
my
I hate
head.
it because the end of it is bring me some fried rice, some Thai five. It's so bad, it makes no sense. I'm finding the lyrics right now.
I
Hold
don't
on.
know. It's stuck in
Nicki
my head.
Minaj lyrics to what is it?
Chun
Chung
Li.
Li. Okay, listen to this last line, you guys. Okay, I can't. It's so bad. I need a Mai Tai. So fucking sci-fi. Give me the password to the fucking Wi-Fi. Shut the fuck up.
I don't remember that. All I
No.
remember is like the chorus of it.
She says things like this is listen to her rhyme here. Bitch, it's King Kong. Yes, I'm King Kong.
Yeah.
This is King Kong. Yes, Miss King Kong. Like, so you just couldn't find something to rhyme with King Kong, so you wanted to
Just
like
say it.
introduce yourself, like King Kong. No, me, I'm Miss King Kong.
Pretty much.
Okay. Where's the other one? That's so stupid. I'm sorry, I'm dissing you, but
I don't know. It's just stuck in my head.
I need a Mai Tai, so fucking sci-fi. Give me the password to the fucking Wi-Fi. No, ma'am, you can't have my password.
I feel like people used to rap and rhyme anything with anything back then.
Listen, back then, this is your fucking time frame, Nicki Minaj.
No, but I mean like the bad rappers. Like,
Okay, well, you go back to actual rappers, even fucking Eve, Foxy Brown, Lil Kim, those bitches can fucking tear shit up.
no,
They
I
are
mean
good.
men.
I'm not even done. Men back then, think about it. Biggie, Tupac, even DMX has some dope lyrics. I meant fucking 50 Cent. You probably don't know Nas. You probably don't know.
No.
These rappers are fucking good.
Fully Eminem.
Method Man, Eminem, like
He's good, but I feel like he also rhymes with random shit.
well, this is
Like-
the thing. He back 2000s, his music was the shit. Everything fucking was take my eyes out and turn them the fuck around. Like when they're like, watch my fucking mouth. What am I supposed to do? Take my eyes out and turn them around.
Right.
Like he had such good lyrics back then.
I know,
But now it's different. Now it's different.
yeah.
There's no listen. I don't care if anyone agrees. There's really no good rappers or music right now.
No, I don't.
When
listen
it
to
comes
any
to
new
like
stuff.
the TikTok hip hops and all the I don't know, man. I don't know. You look
No.
at fucking Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg,
Dude.
dog.
I
Like
love
that
his
shit was
songs.
good. Freaking Dr. Dre, ring ding, like that stuff. Keep your heads ringing. Like that was good.
Right.
Motherfucker. Oh man, I just got. So, off track.
Ew.
We were gonna talk about the murders.
Oh, yeah.
What's it called? Appalachian.
Tres leches.
Trace Leches. Oh. So, 1974. It's 1974 to today, like today, to date.
Okay.
Okay. Pennsylvania or McCall State Forest, Pennsylvania. The motive, a hate crime. Stephen Roy Carr shot Rebecca White and her partner Claudia Brenner in May 1988. White first ran into Carr at a public restroom near their camp, where he asked her for a cigarette. The two women encountered Carr again later that day while they stopped to look at their map. That night, after they set up camp, Carr spied on the couple for some time before firing 8 rounds at the women killing White and wounding Brenner. 10 days following this attack, Carr was arrested and sentenced to life without parole. Brenner went on to become a leading advocate for anti-gay violence, which is horrible. Hate crimes are horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be mean, dude. Don't do that shit. Hate crimes are horrible.
I don't know how you could hate somebody so much that you could
Mhm.
kill them. Like, I could understand if
If
somebody...
you just don't have the same beliefs, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you really are going to kill somebody because of things like that?
I would say I could potentially, like, if somebody killed one of my, like, especially my
Oh my God,
parents
listen to
or my
this murder.
sister, then I would probably want to kill them. I don't think I could.
Yeah, but that's not a hate crime. Joking, you guys. I know what we said. You don't know what we said because you don't know. Because you don't know. So, anyways, 1990, Jeffrey Hood and Molly LaRue. Murderer Paul David Cruz. Where?
What are with these Pauls?
I know. Don't date a Paul. Sorry, Pauls. Maybe we could name him Paul. Be like,
Paul.
as long as you don't call him Paul, you can call him Paul. Oh, your name's not Paul, it's Paul? Yes. Okay, let's go on a date.
I used to know a guy named Paul, and we called him Creepy Paul.
Oh, Paul, we're sorry.
I'm not.
We're sorry. What'd you do? What'd you do,
Creepy.
Paul? Okay, murderer Paul David Cruz. Where? Thelma Marks Shelter in Duncannon, Pennsylvania. Motive, mentally unstable. Jeffrey Hood, 26, Molly LaRue, 25, or LaRue, yeah, were a young through hiking couple who spent their last night staying at a shelter near Cove Mountain. They were shot and stabbed by David Cruz, a wanted killer that was on the run from Florida police. 8 days following the murder, West Virginia police arrested Cruz after hikers noticed him acting strange and awkwardly, carrying an ill-fitting, overly stuffed backpack. So, which by the way was Jeffrey Hood,
Uh,
which included both murder weapons and the young couple's belongings. Cruz, a manic depressive and frequent drug user, was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and is currently serving 2 life sentences without the chance of parole. You're naughty. You're gross.
You're bad.
Naughty bad.
Imagine if he could get a hold of this. He'd probably...
Come
I
on,
don't
beat
wanna
me
think
up.
about it.
Baby, let's see what you got. We already know what he has here. You crazy.
Weapon.
A weapon. I got a weapon. His name is Jesus Christ, my Savior. Jesus of Nazareth.
Judah.
Ooh, you better shut up over there. With that being said, we're going to get another drink and we're going to take a brack. We're going to take a brack and we're going to take a...
I did a pee just now in my pants, which is a pee.
So we're going to take a wee in the toilet and make a drink. Enjoy some of Papa Ghoul's break song. Ba-boo boo break. Making a dream on this little boo 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 break. Da da ba da boo boo boo. Boo 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 boo. We are back to go into the murders from the Appalachian Trail.
Ow.
So you sounded like you reminded me of Blue's Clues. Sorry. So the last one was Jeffrey Hood, 26, and Molly LaRue, 25. Let's go on it. 1996, Julian Williams and Lolly Winans. Murderer unsolved, so they don't have the murder. Where did this happen? In the Shenandoah National Park, Virginia. Motive, they have no idea because it wasn't solved. Unsolved. Though not technically on the AT, Appalachian Trail, this double murder occurred just off of it in the Shenandoah National Park. Williams, 24, and Winans, 26, were found dead on June 1st, 1996, at a campsite on Brittle Trail, just 1/4 mile away from a popular spot with bars. I sound like a news channel. Restaurants and cabins. So Thomas Williams, Julie's father, was the one to report the girls missing when his daughter did not return the day she said she would be. Their murder has never been found, and the FBI is still investigating this case, which is crazy because that's 1996.
Oh, wow.
I know. So, 2001, Louise Chaput, unsolved. Where? Lost Pond Trail, New Hampshire. Motive unsolved. At 55, Chaput drove from Quebec to Pinkham's Grant, where she stayed at a lodge at the Appalachian Mountain Club Visitor Center for this weekend. Not this one, the one that it happened on. The fudge. Chaput set out to hike the Lost Pond Trail, which trailhead was just across the street. So it was right across from her. So Chaput was never heard from again. And on the following Monday, her family and friends filed a missing persons report with local police. Her body was found on Thanksgiving Day with multiple stab wounds. The motive for her murder is unknown, and her killer is still at large. This was 2001. See me go to my mouse?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. I see. You freaking goon. 2008.
Oh.
Meredith Emerson. Murderer Gary Michael Hilton. Where? Blood Mountain, Georgia. Ooh, that's horrible to be murdered there. I'm not laughing. Motive, mentally unstable and sociopath. Gary Michaels Hilton, 61-year-old drifter, befriended and hiked for some time with 20-year-old Meredith Emerson and her dog Emerson. And her dog.
Oh.
Emerson. I was like, he has the blah, blah, blah. So anyways, her Emerson was a fast hiker. So Hilton soon fell behind, and she continued her ascent alone. On her way back down the mountain, she crossed paths with Hilton again, who this time attacked her. I mean, you fucking... Armed with a knife and a baton, he threatened her and tried to take her money. Emerson, who trained in 2 different martial arts, fought back. In quotes, she wouldn't stop fighting, Hilton told the investigators after the facts. Ugh.
That's so sad.
I know. Hilton eventually kidnapped Emerson and held her captive for 3 days before killing her with a handle from a car jack. Hilton, a believed sociopath, said he targeted her because she was a woman.
Oh.
He was sentenced to life in prison, later being charged with 3 additional murders. So he's disgusting.
You're fucked. Oh.
You're a dick. 2011, Scott Lilly. Murder unknown, unsolved. Where? Cow Camp Gap Shelter, Virginia. Motive unsolved. On August 12th, 2011, a group of weekend hikers came across the body of Scott Lilly near the Cow Camp Gap Shelter on the Appalachian Trail. Lilly was a 30-year-old SOBO hiker who began his journey, SOBO, in Maryland and was planning to end at Springer Mountain. He was last seen and heard from July 31st after climbing the Priest in Nelson County. So his cause of death was labeled a homicide caused by asphyxiation by suffocating. His belongings were missing, although the FBI did not say they believed robbery was the motive. His death remains a mystery today. So that's also very sad. Moving to the next sad situation here. 2019, Ronald Sanchez Jr. Murder, James Lewis Jordan. Location, Wythe County, Virginia. Motive, ongoing investigation. 43-year-old Ronald Sanchez spent 16 years in the Army and served 3 tours in Iraq after returning to the States. So he embraced his love for nature and took on the Appalachian Trail. He began his trek early in the season, figuring he'd average a slower pace than most do due to his knee and shoulder injury. So by May 10th, he'd made it to southern Virginia, where he camped along 3 other hikers in Wythe County. On the morning of May 11th, the group encountered 30-year-old James Lewis Jordan, nicknamed Sovereign, from Yarmouth, Mass. Jordan was later reported to have been acting unstable, alarming fellow hikers on this trail. Jordan threatened to burn Sanchez and the others' tents. When they tried to leave, he attacked them, killing Sanchez and wounding another. Jordan is currently undergoing a psych evaluation and awaiting trial because this was in 2019.
This timeline's getting a little too close for my liking. I would have thought they were all maybe like at most 2 years apart. But
I know I went to 2019, but those were the murders. So there's 2 more, and we're going to go back to 2008, okay? Because these are last seen type missing, okay? So Johnson and Sean Farmer. Assailant, Randall Smith. Location, the Wapiti shelter. Motive, unsolved. While camping near the Wapiti, I said Wapiti. Oh, God, I said Wapiti.
I'm immature.
Near the Wapiti shelter, fishermen Scott Johnson and Sean Farmer met Randall Smith, who said his name was Ricky Williams. He invited him to join them for dinner. Little did they know that they were dining with the man who had killed Robert Mountford Jr. and Susan Ramsey. That's right. In the same area in 1981. The 3 shared dinner and conversed for hours. As the night stretched on, Smith hung around even though he'd mentioned his camp was over an hour away. At 8:30 p.m., Smith finally said he was leaving. A moment later, he began firing shots at the 2 men. Miraculously, both men were injured, but escaped together and survived Smith since he died in prison. 2013, we're going to go to Geraldine Largay. Let's see, cause of death. I said death. Cause of death. Lost. Location, 100-mile wilderness. Geraldine, also known as Jerry, or Inchworm. I think I read about her already. I remember this. On the trail, like prior to these notes of this episode, I remember seeing it on Facebook or something. On the trail was a 6-year-old retired Air Force nurse from Tennessee who set out one summer to hike through the Appalachian Mountains, or Appalachian Trail, by herself. She kept constant communication with her husband, meeting him at various points along the trail for resupplying things. One morning, she ventured off the trail in the 100-mile wilderness area for a pit stop and lost her way back. She tried to text her husband many times, but the text wouldn't send because there was no cell service. After her husband didn't hear from her, he called the police, who began a search. Largay survived for 23 days on her own before she passed of exposure and starvation.
Aww.
Her body was found only 3 miles from where she was last seen.
Stop.
It's very sad. It's very sad. My heart.
That makes me sad and mad.
Right? She was so close.
Yeah.
So, let me just go back. So, the AppalachianTrail.org, greenbelly.co, wiki. Those are some sites for some of mine. Bagoo's going to go into some creepy stuff or some things she found. So, be patient with her. She's, still fairly new with reading on the podcast. So, she's going to go into some of the creepier aspects of this trail. Go for it, Gabagoo.
I just recently saw
Excuse me? Okay. Really be patient with her, you guys. Holy shit.
A horror short where the guy lived in the Appalachian Mountains with his daughter. There are no names. This is just random, I guess. He told her that if she went out and played to be back before dark, early in the morning he heard his daughter yelling for him from outside and ran out to help her. He saw that she had actually come home, and she asked why he was outside. He turned and saw himself staring back at him. He told his daughter to lock the door and call her grandma in the morning and say, quote unquote, "Daddy found himself." That made me uncomfortable to say. And that she knows what it meant before he shut off the outside lights. So that was the first story.
Okay.
So I'm assuming it's a skin flute.
I love that we say skin flute.
It just makes me think of an uncircumcised, you know what.
I
I don't know why. That's just
an uncircumcised one, huh?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Gosh, picky.
Not gonna make a comment on that.
No comment.
Next story. Okay. I figured the best way to start this is by stating that this series of events that I have experienced through my 27 years of life living in the Appalachian region of rural South Virginia, some have just been feeling like strange, while others are able to be outside after dark when you live as deep in the mountains as I do. First, I will go back as far as I can remember to when we had just started living in the house that we currently still live in. In the grand scheme of things, our house isn't really all that old. If I remember, it was built around the 60s or 70s, so not really that old. When my grandparents bought the house and we moved in was when the experiences started happening. They weren't bad experiences, don't get me wrong. Mainly things being moved, shadows out of the corner of my eye, strange things and smells, but nothing I would call bad, just strange. My mother and father.
Your mother and father. My mother and father.
My mother and father have moved a trailer on my grandparents' property at that time, as well as my mother, unlike my granny and myself, is very much a skeptic. Remember Granny telling her all about the strange smells, other things happening around the house, until one day she was by herself at the trailer. My brother and I were at school. Granny was at work, and my pawpaw was most likely in his recliner at the house. Something to know about where the trailer sat at the time and the land we own. We own a few acres of land with a creek running about halfway through it, splitting the land that we lived and worked on from the land that was almost entirely mountainside. The trailer was sat at the very edge of the property by the creek. There was about half an acre of land between the house and the trailer, and my mother, who was home alone, started smelling a man's aftershave. Could potentially mark that up to my father, except my father didn't wear anything like that when he was alive. Not that he didn't like it, just that stuff just never smelled good on him. Granny always said that.
Well, that's sad.
Oh, I don't know why that says that. Smell goods always rotted on your daddy, even as a baby. So it wasn't my father. My pawpaw was in the house at the other end of the property. So she just, and she just couldn't figure out where this clove-like smell was coming from. Things went on like that for a long time. Objects being moved, the smell of a man's aftershave, all of it.
Yep.
Finally, and I don't know what prompted it, my grandparents decided to get the house wiring checked out. Turns out that the house had been wired with the same kind of wires that were used in coal mines, and a lot, if not most, of the wires were bad. Strangely, once the wiring was fixed, all the strange happenings in the house property stopped. Granny still says to this day that the previous owner was looking out for us. This is stuffy now. Now we're going to skip forward a few years. By this time, my mother has divorced my father, given up custody of me and my brother to our grandparents. I'm still at the age where playing outside in dirt and creek is the most fun a southern child can have. And I have made myself a little place across the creek in a little thicket to play in. It was a good, quiet place for a child to play and was good for a while. There was always a feeling that comes with being watched. Different feelings to being watched. And this feeling I got, even as a child, was not welcoming nor friendly sort of watching. I never found out what it was, nor have I gone back to that little spot I used to play in. Even approaching the area that I used to play in gives me such a sense of dread and apprehension that I have never been able to shake.
What?
A few years later, and my younger brother and I are living with my mother and her new husband. A mistake now that I look back on it, but that's not a post for here. I wanted to decorate my new room, so we went to the local flea market where I bought a clock and a painting to hang up in my room. Now, before these items entered the house, it was just a normal house. Afterwards, doors opening on their own, items being moved, my cat refusing to leave my side, my things gone missing only to show up in other rooms, sleep paralysis, a tall dark shadow moving in the corner of my eye. Of
course. Yep. Of course.
Voices. It was awful, and a time in my life I never want to revisit. I distinctly remember laying in bed with my cat. My light was on. I had my CD player blaring music, the usual teen things, when out of nowhere, it felt like something kicked the edge of my bed. I'm not talking about a light kick like someone trying to get my attention. I'm talking hard enough to scoop my bed several inches to the side.
Shit.
There were nights where I'd be laying in bed my door cracked because, of course, I had the room with no windows, and I always have had a slight fear of pitch black. I'd be laying there on my side, so my face was facing the door. Now, something to know about me is I have awful vision. Without my glasses, I can only see clearly a few inches in front of my face. This doesn't mean, however, that I can't see movement.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that it's far more terrifying to only be able to see a dark blur moving towards you than to clearly see what that blur is.
I don't know, bro.
I know
Because if
that's
this crazy ass scary motherfucker was coming at me
yeah.
and I could actually see it,
Then
I would know. I mean, the blur is scary because you don't know for sure. But if you
right.
see a terrifying thing over it being a blur,
I was gonna say I think I'd be a little more freaked out.
mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
You're right. We didn't stay long in that house and was forced to move out not long after. And during the move, I was forced to leave the clock behind. And oddly enough, the strange happenings stopped. Now we skip a bit more forward in time.
Oh gosh, scared myself. I scared myself.
I'm an adult now and have had more experiences now that I'm back in my hometown in the heart of the Appalachian Mountains. Everything from hearing a woman outside in the middle of the night in January calling, "Hello, Ovette," and over to being outside at night, smoking, and getting the overwhelming feeling that if I didn't get inside immediately, that something would attack me. To the crickets outside going quiet, and the fear of turning around to look out the window for the fear of what may be looking in. But that's all my experiences. Long-winded, I'm sure. The third story isn't that long. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, go for it.
This is the third story. Had a friend who swore up and down his woods was haunted. One night during the winter, he had a party. When people left, they thought they saw the eyes of a person reflected in the woods. We went out to check the next morning, and we found tracks that looked like the foot of a turkey.
What?
Only it had 4 toes in front. It also started out very small in size and slowly increased in size until it reached about 2 to 3 feet in length. Then it shrunk down in size again. When walking his woods, sometimes people would see a man with long hair, but had looked like he hadn't showered in months. He would move along tree lines, but you wouldn't see his body bob up and down like he was walking. He would just slide along the path. You could never see below his chest. I remember while camping there once and mocking the idea of a ghost, I turned away from the fire and back really quickly, only to see this faceless head out of the corner of my eye, as if someone had walked right up behind me and was about to whisper in my ear when I turned around. He had the same unkempt. That's what I'm assuming they meant.
Kempt?
I don't know why there's an M. Unkept hair, but no face. I screamed and jumped a foot in the air. My friend said occasionally that he would go on trips, leave the house, and his sister would wake up in the middle of the night to see a version of him standing in the hallway on her doorway. Again, with extremely unkept hair, and he would never respond when she would ask him why he didn't go to bed. In the 80s, during the Satanic Panic, their property was allegedly the site of a witch's coven that had sacrificed to a demon, and the owners were chased out of town. I'd post a screenshot of the newspaper discussing it if it wouldn't give away my hometown. Their forest used to be a Boy Scout camp, and I've slept in one of the leftover log cabins from where it was. It also has one of the oldest schoolhouses in the state.
So those are some creepy tales. And I got something that's pretty creepy too. So since Gabagoo gave us some of those creep tales, wicked creep tales, here are some 10, not some, 10 monsters found lurking in Appalachia. The Wampus Beast, the large black feline-like creature that lives in the woods and has been spotted around Pleasants County, West Virginia. Wampus beasts are 4 times the size of a male mountain lion and weigh in at 500 to 600 pounds with massive paws. The predator have a strong odor, like a cross between a wet dog and a skunk. Oh, the Wolfman. A large canine-esque mammal. It's roaming the hills near the Wolf County, Kentucky. Believed to weigh in at 500 pounds and stands taller than 7 feet in height. The Wolfman is bipedal, and has fur similar to a bear or gorilla. It's believed to live in caves and has been seen around the area since 1970s. Don't, Ron, go back. Bigfoot. The Appalachian Mountains are believed to be haven for Bigfoot. The elusive creature has been spotted throughout Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, and West Virginia. Eyewitness accounts describe the creature as having different colored fur, though one of the most striking species of Bigfoot is a nocturnal creature with black fur and glowing green eyes. Okay, smoke wolf. The solid black smoke wolf is a massive canine with eyes as red as the sun. One witness who has heard smoke wolves howl and scream at night on his property describes them as pure freaking evil, noting that they kill for fun. The only thing known to deter a smoke wolf is the sound of rattling chains. Mothman.
Shocker.
The bat-like winged cryptid, which we will be doing an episode on, was first documented in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, prior to the collapse of the Silver Bridge over the Ohio River in 1966, and sightings have been reported ever since then. According to legend, this creature is 7 to 8 feet tall, has a 10-foot wingspan, and nests in caves. Mothman tends to be spotted just before something catastrophic.
Ooh, yeah. I know there's a ton of rules you need before you go into the Appalachian Mountains.
I know. Do you have those or no?
I know a lot of them. I think off the top of my
Okay,
head.
well, you get that together, and I'm going to finish the Grafton Monster. The Grafton Monster was first spotted in West Virginia in the 1950s, and it was described as a massive creature with short fur. It's estimated to weigh between 1,000 and 1,500 pounds and boasts broad shoulders. Its head sits low in front of the body. So from behind, it makes it look like it has no head. It's like it appears headless because of how low it sits in the front.
Ooh.
It is believed to eat livestock. Now there is the Raven Mocker. And according to the Cherokee legend, the Raven Mocker is a shapeshifter Bigfoot standing 7 feet tall with black fur and solid white eyes. This type of Bigfoot is believed to inhabit Southwest Virginia and is able to shift into any animal and can also take on appearance of an old man or woman. In its human form, the Raven Mocker can lurk among unsuspecting people, and it eats their hearts from their chest without even leaving one mark. How? Don't you have to rip open the chest? The Silver Giant. The Silver Giant is similar to a bear and can run as easily on 2 legs as it can on 4. So when standing, it is between 9 and 11 feet tall. While its fur is generally dark, it has silver streaks of hair running down its back. All right, we got 2 more. The Cherokee Death Cat. This cat-like beast is said to look like a lion and measures approximately 4 feet tall and is approximately 4 feet tall at its front shoulder and 9 feet long from head to tail. Wow. The creature can leap extremely far and is an expert climber navigating the trees without a problem. It feeds on large livestock, cows, horses, bigger ones, and it focuses its attack directly into the jugular. That's your throat. Your jugs. Grims. These red-eyed beasts guard some Appalachian cemeteries. Legend has it that the settlers throughout the region believed that burying the family's dog alive in the cemetery would mean the dog's spirit would morph into a grim, a black dog with red eyes, and that the dog would be protected, or the dog would then protect the graveyard. So I think that's pretty
Cemetery.
sad. You're gonna bury your dog alive. So anyways, so yeah. Now that we got the creepy animals, cryptid monster dogs and things, Gabagoo. What are some of the rules that they say? Do you want the light on? Or are you good?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Never be in the woods from dusk till dawn. Okay.
Wait, but a lot of people are though.
I know.
Because you hike, right?
Yeah.
So like, do they mean like in a tent? Who knows? Okay,
Yeah,
go on. Keep on going.
Never leave the marked trail. It's marked off for a reason.
Okay, that's true.
If you hear voices close to you, they're far away. But if the voices are far away, then they're close.
What?
Yeah, I've heard of that one. And I've heard of these next two. Do not whistle or sing in the woods.
Why?
Because that like attracts like
animals?
No.
Skinwalkers?
Yeah.
Skin flutes?
And like people like I think it attracts banshees, like I said banshees.
They say wendigos and skin flutes
That's what it was. I couldn't think of the other one.
The wendigo.
And never look too hard into the trees. You might not like what you see.
Ew.
Yep.
That's all you've got?
Yeah, it only gave me 5 on every website I checked. But yeah.
Absolute rules to follow while being in the Appalachian Trail.
Oh, I did hear that like if somebody tries talking to you, like I saw this one story on TikTok, this girl said that a little girl was like saying hello or can you help me or whatever, and that like what you're supposed to do is just act like you didn't hear it, like pretend like if you're gonna go inside, just pretend like you were gonna go inside anyways, or like like if you see something like you're going to close your blinds at night and you have like glass doors or whatever, and you see something out in the woods, just pretend like you were just gonna keep closing your blinds and don't even like acknowledge it, because then it knows that you're acknowledging it, so it gives it energy,
power,
more
power and shit. Okay, so here's something. Rules of horror or rules. Horror. Hiking in the Appalachia. The basics. This is from a writer, by the way. I'm a simple man who likes simple things. One of those things is hiking. Been hiking everywhere all over the continent. The continental U.S. in the Rocky Mountains and the Ozarks, but mostly, especially, the Appalachian Trail. Hiking through those mountains is not the easiest thing to do, especially if you're hiking all the way up the whole range from beginning to end. I've only ever walked the whole thing once. Took round about 6 months, and in those 6 months, I saw a lot, and I've learned how to survive. I'm passing my knowledge to you all now. The first and most important rule is, if you hear your name in the Appalachian Mountains, no, you didn't.
That's the one I found, but I wasn't sure. They look like the same.
Especially if you're traveling alone, and especially if you're alone at night, or if that voice wakes you up from the dead sleep you're in. Do not ever answer. Like you said, don't acknowledge it. Keep hiking, or if you're woken up, do not go back to sleep. Build a fire and keep yourself awake at all costs. It knows where you are now, but as long as you don't slip up and doze off, you'll live. You're scaring me, guy. Second rule is just as important. If you hear screaming in the Appalachian Mountains, especially a woman scream, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Ignore it at all costs. Like, so these are all like yours, right? Yeah. Wait, did you say the whistle one too?
Whistle or singing, yeah.
Never whistle at night. This is the third one.
I hear you're not supposed to do that anywhere, so.
Really?
I don't know. I don't do it.
Don't whistle at your friend. Don't get your buddy's attention.
Stop catcalling at night. Once it gets dark out, you can't catcall us.
Not to keep your mind busy. Just don't whistle.
Yeah.
If you whistle, you're telling the whole darn forest and everything in it, hey, you guys, look, I'm right here. Come on. Come on, right?
Literally.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm behind you. Fifth thing is, if you want to sleep under the stars, build a fire big enough to burn through the night until sunrise, because it's, not there to keep you warm.
Right.
It's there to, who knows, scare off something is what he's saying. I don't know.
It sounds like it's like a Forest Woods version of a dream catcher. Does that make sense?
Kind of. I believe so.
Yeah, sorry.
You said sort of. I give up. I take it back. Rule 6. If you see a half deer laying on the ground, no matter what time of day it is, don't stand there and gawk at it. Do not even touch that body and run until you run out of breath because it's still there and it's baiting you. It knows you have a morbid curiosity.
I do.
It's stronger than you, but it won't chase you. Don't be an idiot and think you can fight it because not only will no one find your body, but even if someone did, all they'd find would be teeth and bone fragments. Last rule. If you get attacked by a human or an animal, you fight tooth and nail to save your life. But if something else catches you, just give in. If you carry a sidearm, make sure you got at least 2 bullets in it. If you think you can scare off or hunt a thing that's attacking you and it is not an animal, you shoot 1 bullet at a time. If it doesn't run off, you know what to do with the other one. Let's go into this. Bottom line, is the AT actually safe to hike? So, this site asked the Appalachian Trail Conservancy. The Appalachian Trail AT is a relatively safe place, but it's not immune from crime or insulated against the problems of larger society. It is estimated that more than 3 million hikers visit this trail annually. 11 hikers or 13 hikers have been murder victims. 11 hikers have been murder victims. The other 2 were the one that survived and the other one who just died because she got lost. Jerry, I believe her name was. So, hikers are advised to plan ahead and prepare for their journey. Be self-reliant and use situational awareness with backup plans in case they encounter, something unexpected. In an emergency or when encountering threatening behavior, you know what to call or who to call. Call 911 immediately. Hikers can report suspicious behavior and criminal activity through a National Park Service dispatch number. I'm going to give it 1-866 677 6677. I'm going to repeat it. Service dispatch number 1-866 677 6677. You can go online and, whatever with the incident report form that you want to fill out at the www.appalachiantrail.org. Not dash, it's that slanted whatever. Incidents, then a dash. So you could do that if you, are feeling like you want to do that. But I guess the most common way people die on the trail is, let's see, the heart of the attacks or health-related issues are leading cause of death while hiking. Drowning and falling also ranks pretty high, and these have increased in the recent years because of people taking unnecessary risks to get their perfect profile picture. You stupid social media shot.
No.
So other threats make the list, including untreated ticks or tick-borne illnesses, dehydration, lightning strikes, and falling trees. So here's some safety tips. Hike in a group. Twisted ankles, getting turned around on the trail, run-ins with dangerous people or animals. It doesn't take much to turn these minor mishaps into life-threatening. So if you hike in a group, it makes you less vulnerable to attacks by animals and people. So, just do it. Log yourself at every shelter. So every time you stop at or that you go by, whatever, every shelter, it's literally putting your name there at each one is the best way to locate you in case something happens or people think you went missing because they'll be able to see it at your last stop. You know what I mean? That being said, some hikers choose to log their trail names rather than their real names, as the NPS has warned against providing too much personal information like gender-specific names, itinerary plans, and such. So I guess that makes like sense. But if you're going to adopt a trail name, you have to let your family and everyone know what that is.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be signing in with it. So I understand not wanting to get your normal stuff out there.
Right.
So make sure you communicate. Keep your loved ones' minds at ease by checking in and communicating regularly. If you're not one for phone calls, it's a great app if you go to the Cairn, CAIRN app. It's for hikers that automatically it'll alert selected groups of people and call it a safety circle, which means your family will know, if you don't want to call, they can check that.
Right.
Report suspicious activity or people on this trail. If you come in contact with someone that feels weird or off and straight up gives you the creepy jeebies, whatever you want to call them, never share personal details at all or anything about what you're doing or your plan. Mentally know anything that's, memorable, features, characteristics, whatever. Do your best to get away from them as quickly as possible. Go to a populated place where you can report this, weird activity. I already gave you the number, the communication center, 1-866-677-6677. Carry a gun on the Appalachian Trail. I don't know what your guys' beliefs are, but I believe we have the right to bear arms.
Yep.
That's where I stand. I think they're dangerous in the wrong hands. Obviously, I'm not an idiot. So carry a gun. Although the law allows registered users to carry firearms on trails in compliance with federal, state, and local laws, the ATC discourages hikers from doing so. If you choose to carry a gun, be sure to check out the concealed carry laws for each state that you'll be passing through and have essential permits for them. Additional hiking safety tips: always carry a map. This shows you the layout of the land in case you get lost. You'll have an idea. Conserve your phone battery when you're in areas without self-service. So if you know you don't have service, just turn your phone off.
Yeah.
When you have cell service, read up on former blogs to see what hikers are saying about the specific trail that was, ahead or whatever. Make sure you just take a moment to check the upcoming weather as well. Trailhead, yeah. Smart. So that's about the Appalachian Trail. There's a ton of stories. You can go into Wendigos. You can go into, accidents, people falling, people, whatever. There's a lot. There is a ton. So, whoa!
You scared me.
Did that hit your toe?
No, but it jumped. I got scared. I jumped, not it jumped.
I'm glad you jumped because your foot would have been, that would have hit your toes.
Scared the shit out of me.
Okay, so we're going to go into my little calendar of horror. So, 4 haunted hotels to visit, part 1. This is not the Appalachian Trail. This is a new section. This is the ending when we read some fun horror things. So, thinking of taking a vacation, huh? Why not book a room in one of these haunted hotels?
Yes.
What better souvenir than an encounter with a ghost? The Concord's Colonial Inn, Concord, Massachusetts. In 1966, couple MP and Judith Valenz were vacationing in New England when they booked room 24. One night, Judith saw a gray shadow figure standing near her bed before it disappeared. She was not alone. The building was a Revolutionary War-era hospital, and many people have reported flickering lights, televisions, mysteriously turning on in the dark, the ghost of a woman walking the hallways, and unexplained voices. Here's another one. The Boone Tavern Hotel, Berea, Kentucky. I didn't know your hand. I'm going to do this. According to ghost hunters, this beautiful hotel built in 1909, or it was built, sorry, and listed on the National Register of Historic Places, is like, in quotes, a train station with spirits coming and going. Guests have reported seeing apparition of a small boy in their photographs. Run! Give me this page. So, ghost hunters have contacted spirits willing to communicate. Those interested in the supernatural can participate in the hotel's ghost hunts. Oh, that didn't rip great. Part 2. The Emily Morgan, San Antonio, Texas. Built near the Alamo, the hotel was originally constructed as a medical facility. Gargoyles on the buildings outside depict various maladies treated at the facilities. Inside, guests and staff have reported strange occurrences. Pillows are hurled to the ground after beds are made. Phones ring with no one on the other line. The elevators stop at floors for no reason. Hotel cameras have picked up orbs floating down the hallway. Excuse me. One guest found her bathtub full of blue water. So let's go to the next hotel, La Fonda on the Plaza, Santa Fe, New Mexico, the site of numerous violent altercations and public hangings. This hotel has a long history dating back to the early 1600s when an inn stood at the same location. Its most famous ghosts include Judge Joe P. Slow, murdered in the lobby but later seen in the hallways wearing his signature long black coat, a young woman killed by a lover on her wedding night, and a man who threw himself into the well after losing all of his gambling money.
Gosh.
You're such a jerk.
Bad.
Unearthly quotations. As indigenous people, we know there's more to the world. We know spirits exist. We know as women, because we're especially attuned to this kind of knowledge, that spirits exist and have a presence in our lives. Some of us are gifted, can communicate with the spirit world. Not everyone has that gift and can perceive the borders between the living and the dead. And our society actively discourages us of exploring the knowledge of what may or what many of us have already known in our culture. Sandra Cicernos.
Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock. All right. A Tale of Two Canals. Oh, my back. If you are on the waterways in St. Petersburg, Russia, Ostergats Sia. That's beware in Russian, I believe. They can be dangerous places if you believe in ghosts. Two different canals are haunted by particularly dangerous spirits. The first is the Abvidan Canal, which runs through the southern side of the city. Many people attempt suicide in this canal, and some who are saved say that they didn't even intend to kill themselves, but felt as if something was driving them to do it. Possibly the ghosts of the dead in the water. The Gribadov Canal is said to be haunted by the ghosts of Sofia Perovskaya, a revolutionary who assisted in the assassination of Tsar Alexander II. She was caught and hanged for her crime. Her ghost may appear as a young woman with a blue face and the marks of the rope around her neck. If you see her, particularly at night, be careful. Many who have seen her have fallen into the canal. Boom! Boom! So, yes. So, that's our fun horror tales for the week. And that's our that's our Appalachian. Appalachian. Oh my God. Okay. So you guys can find us on Facebook, Sinister Ghouls / Twisted Sisters. Join our group. You can find us on Instagram, Sinister Ghouls Podcast. Join us, friend us, DM us. You can send your emails, or I'm sorry, obviously your emails. You can send your wicked tales to sinisterghoul23@gmail.com. Your wicked tales, any topics you might want to hear, anything fun. I talked to Tim. He said he apologizes for the email because he thought he was misspelling things, or it was totally fine, Tim. It was fine. And it was very interesting. And he gave me a little bit of feedback, and he's got some stuff that can prove, when they had the ghost hunters come in. And so he's looking into some of that stuff, and he's going to email it to me. But so yeah, send your wicked tales, sinisterghoul23@gmail.com. We are on X, Sinister Ghoul / Twisted Sisters. And you can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Pandora, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. I don't know if it's Google Pod, if it's there anymore, but I got to get YouTube music going. And then iHeartRadio, iHeartPublic, or Radio Public. Sorry, I said iHeartPublic. You can find us there. You guys, please rate us 5 stars. Please, if you want to help us out, listener support, follow our link, 99 cents, $4.99, and $9.99 a month. Or you can go to Venmo. It's at Ghoulie, GHOUI. I'm sorry, GHOULI 23. Ghoulie23. I'm in a black tankaroo. And you can send anything you want to help out. We're just trying to save up for t-shirts and stuff. But let me think if there's anything else that I want to say besides we love you guys. And we have new listeners in Denmark. Denmark. So we're pretty stoked, but we love all of you guys. You guys are all our wicked fiends. You're all our creepertons. You are all creepsters.
Yeah.
And we love you because you're creepy. So with that being said, we love you guys. We love you guys. We love you guys. And she's going to try to really actually sound like Ghoul Evening this time. So we hope you have a fantastic day.
And a good evening. Stay safe.
Stay sexy. Stay spooky.